What if I told you that you don't need some massive life overhaul or a crazy burst of motivation to build your dream routine? Turns out what you really need is something way simpler and honestly a lot more powerful. It's called the 1% rule. And today, we're going to break down exactly how this thing works.
So let's be real for a second. Why is it that every time we try to start a new habit, it just seems to completely fall apart within a week? Well, it's usually because we try to go from 0 to 100 overnight. We decide, I'm going to start running, and we aim for 5 miles on day 1. We get overwhelmed, we miss a day, and then we feel like a total failure. We've all been there, right?
And that right there is the biggest myth of self-improvement, that real change needs this massive all-or-nothing effort. But the science, it shows the exact opposite. The most powerful, lasting momentum actually comes from these tiny, almost unnoticeable improvements that you make every single day. Which brings us to the core of this whole thing, the incredible power of just getting 1% better, and the really cool science behind these small daily wins.
So the 1% rule just flips this whole script on its head. See, it's not about intensity, it's all about consistency. The big idea is that improving by just a tiny little fraction each day is the only reliable way to get to those massive results. It's less about what you do today and way more about what you do every single day.
Okay, and this is where the math gets absolutely mind-blowing. After just 90 days of these 1% improvements, you're already more than twice as good as when you started. But look what happens after a full year. You are nearly 38 times better. That is the unbelievable power of compounding small, consistent efforts. It's wild.
All right, the theory is powerful, I get it. But how do we actually put it into practice without having to rely on willpower, which, always runs out? Well, the key is this really simple formula that makes the whole process pretty much automatic. This is it. This is the secret sauce. This little sentence is the engine that makes the whole system work. It's called habit stacking. The formula is so simple. After I do my current existing habit, I will do my new tiny habit. By linking the new thing to something you already do without thinking, you completely eliminate the need for motivation.
And the best part is you already have dozens of these automatic triggers just built right into your day. I mean, think about it. Pouring your coffee, brushing your teeth, opening your laptop, these are all perfect, reliable cues that you can just hitch your new 1% habit onto. The new habit basically becomes free.
Now, the key here is to start with habits that are so small, they feel kind of ridiculous to skip. So let's look at 3 really powerful examples you can start today. And seriously, each one takes less than 2 minutes. First up, let's call it the coffee stack. The cue is finishing your morning coffee, something you probably do every single day. And the new habit? Just wiping down 1 counter. That's it.
Now, we're not talking about a deep clean here. This tiny 1-minute action just signals to your brain that the day is about order, not chaos. It removes a little piece of visual stress and gives you this satisfying hit of control. Your brain gets to register a win before the day has even really started.
All right, stack number 2. This one's for your workday. The cue is that exact moment, right before you open your laptop. The new micro habit, writing just 2 sentences in a journal.
What's so brilliant about this is how it totally frames your entire day. Sentence number 1 is for something you're grateful for. Boom, instant positivity. Sentence number 2 is your single most important task for the day. Boom, instant focus. This little action interrupts that reactive cycle of just diving into emails and lets you set your own agenda first. And now for our final habit stack. The cue here is perfect because it's so rigid. It happens every single day, sitting down to eat dinner. So before you take a single bite, you're going to do 2 minutes of simple stretching.
This little trick ensures that every single day, without fail, you're doing something for your long-term physical health. Even on your most exhausted, beat-down days. I mean, who can't find 2 minutes? It's so small you can't skip it, but the compound benefit to your mobility and energy over the years is just huge.
So we've covered the why and the how. Now it's time to go from just passively learning about this stuff to actually doing it. Let's talk about your first step. I want to leave you with this number one more time. 37 times better. 37! That is the staggering, life-altering change that can happen when you commit to a tiny, almost trivial improvement day after day for just 1 year.
Look, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Forget the massive overhauls. Forget the pressure to be perfect from day one. Your success really just hinges on one thing and one thing only. Consistency will always, always beat intensity.
So my challenge to you is this. Pick one of these stacks or, hey, create your own. Ask yourself, what is the one tiny 2-minute habit you can stack onto a routine you already have tomorrow? What's your 1% stack going to be? The whole journey just starts with that one single simple choice.